Queensland have announced their side for the third state of origin. And in big news, the Queensland loyalty seems to be on the way out. Willie, is pick and stick dead?
Oh, I think so with Queensland. It's easy to say that right now because Ben Hunt has played pretty bad in the first 2 games and now he's been put on the bench pretty much because Ponga's not there. So it's easy for us to sit back and go, you know what? It's your fault, Ben Hunt, you're out. Just like we crucified Mitchell Pearce for 10 years. You know, so Ben Hunt's going to be the Mitchell Pearce for 10 years because they're struggling a little bit and they got beaten this one series, but I'm not getting carried away. It's one series, so I'm proud of our boys, but I just think, you know, the whole loyalty thing, there's never ever loyalty. There's loyalty when you're winning, when they won like 10, 11, 12 out of 13 series, then they had to pick and stick all the time because they were doing the job. But right now, they haven't done the job. Yeah. So it's just a natural way the coach is going to go. They're going to go, all right, you're not doing the job, see you later. Happened to Cherry-Evans a couple of years ago. Got given the keys to the Ferrari when they were actually killing it. He lost both them games. It's taken him that long to get back in the side. So,
well, that's a very interesting point too, because Cherry-Evans, there's been talk that he's had his cards marked, that he was never going to play again.
He was in exile for 3 or 4 years.
But there were better players in him. But now Ben Hunt's been given 2 games. They're talking about moving forward and how now it's about, you know, we're going to start for next year. And then they pick Cherry-Evans, which some would see as a backward step. So do you think this is Queensland showing a bit of New South Wales and just panicking?
I think that their whole... look, as a Blues fan, I make no secret about what a devoted Blues fan I am. I'm actually quite enjoying their panic.
Yeah.
Because we've suffered their insufferable Maroons. You know, we are so loyal.
Swagger.
We are so loyal. The Queensland spirit, you know, we pick and stick. We only choose the players. And it's very, very easy to pick those when you have the best players in the world as your spine. Yeah. Also Billy Slater and Greg Inglis. Yeah. And then all of a sudden they lose one series, they lose their damn minds, and they're crucifying each other.
That's the way it is. Like just say at 2006, if we had won that, they were calling Origin as dead.
Yeah, exactly.
I remember it. I said, it's only going to be 4 series. And they were going, no, it's done. Then they won, obviously. Yes. They went on a little bit of a run. 12 from 13 or 14. So it's just like, now they've lost the series. I mean, as an ex-New South Wales player, I'm happy for our boys, and I know we're building and building, but it is good to see a little bit of panic in there.
It is.
In Kevy, because, you know, and it's weird that they didn't go with Hunt, because I would have thought, you know, being the loyalists that they are, to go and regress to DCE. Maybe they're trying to think, well, DCE was our boy at the start. Maybe if we do give him another chance, he can lead him into a victory up there. So I think they're just giving him another chance because they know how much of a talent he is, and they're regressing.
It, though. I mean, if you look at Ash Taylor, I think, is probably the future of Queensland.
I thought they would have given him a run.
Why not give him a run? Like,
it's very odd considering they literally, I don't know exactly if the quotes, but there was rumours about saying literally that DCE is not a cultural fit, which I don't know what that means. Maybe he just doesn't like Bundy and Coke or wearing check shirts. I don't know.
He doesn't like Aaron Williams.
Yeah, he doesn't like wearing boots everywhere. 12 fingers. I don't know what it is. I'm not sure. But, I mean, now they've gone back to him. So, it looks like panic to me.
And I'm surprised as well. When you look at the players that they've got, Ponga would have been picked on the bench instead of Ben Hunt. So Ben Hunt would have gone directly out of the team completely. I just think Ben Hunt is an incumbent Australian. They've lost a series against what is a much better side.
I honestly thought they would have stuck with Hunt.
Me too.
Because of the way that they've been saying and what the culture that they've been building over the last 10 or 12 years. They stick. And Ben Hunt is their best 7 as a choice, and I thought they would have stuck with him. But obviously he should know that he would have been out of the 17, not in the 17. If Ponga doesn't get injured, he's out. So, like...
It's not like he's playing terrible football. He's playing at the Dragons. They're at the top of the table.
He's probably the best 7 in the game at the moment.
Well, he's playing a game. He played behind a pack that got dominated.
Exactly.
And now Queensland, they've dropped Dylan Napper out of the side completely. They've put Wallace on the bench. They've got 2 back rowers now playing in the front row. Ben Hunt is obviously being treated as a scapegoat, and as you mentioned, Mitchell Pearce, I wonder whether Queensland actually have a next generation.
Piercy never got picked on the bench, but he just either got dropped and just smashed all over the place. But Ben Hunt's got his chance now, and he's still in the 17. And I still think he's a starting 7 for Queensland. I just think it's a bit of a.
It's unfair.
It's not unfair. It's a little bit of Queensland panicking, I suppose.
Yeah.
Where are we going to go? Where are we going to go?
Where are their forwards coming from?
They're not. I don't think they have a contingency plan. I literally don't think Queensland thought I think they've just so they've sat on their laurels of this success, and then all of a sudden I think Smith retiring out of nowhere, and all of a sudden they're like, oh God, what have we done? We haven't laid down this contingency plan.
I think that the backs are fine. It's the forwards that I just don't think you just don't go. There's not many forwards that are injured at the moment, so it's not like they can have a contingency plan, but it's like, for who?
They don't have the depth.
There wasn't that much depth in the front row.
True.
All the back row. Gavin Cooper's 34.
Yeah.
Felice Kafusi's on that right-hand side. Like, you know, you could have put Matt Gillett on that right-hand side. You put Felice on the other side, and you still got Josh Maguire. That's a reasonably young back row. Dylan Napa, I'm surprised that he's 18th man, because I would have dropped Walsh straight out of the side. Because I just think he doesn't deserve a spot in front of Napa, because Napa can hit, and I actually thought he played good in that second game. So it's a bit of a shock for me there. I just don't understand what they're doing. I think they just need to find the right mix, because they've still got the Hunts and the Munsters and all these young kids, Gaggais, Valentine Holmes, Kalen Ponga. They've still got these rock star players. But what's happening now is that it's even. Instead of being so uneven and us going, finally it's even. You know, we've got the Latrell Mitchells and the James Roberts and all these young kids that they'd never been beaten in an Origin now. Just like these young kids come through when they'd never got beat for 10 years.
They're not scarred.
So that's what is exactly like scarred for the last 10 years of facing Cameron Smith and Cooper Cronk and all these blokes and JT. It's not happening anymore. They're done. That era's over. And it's going to go down as one of the greatest eras of rugby league in the history of the game.
It's one of the best Australian sporting teams of all time.
But it's over now.
It's over.
And I just don't want us to get too cocky and think we're going to start a whole dynasty. It's just evened up.
Yes.
That's all it's done.
Perfectly said, Willie.
You speak about scarring. Now, Kevin Walters came out today and made some pretty strong comments about idiots on social media. Now, Jared Wallace is obviously the person that he was talking about, and Ben Hunt. They've been hammered on social media.
I thought he was talking about me.
Well, interestingly, like Kicki, you've worked in social media or in digital marketing. Wouldn't you
social media,
Wouldn't you just say to the players, how about you don't look at Twitter? How about you don't... if you're going to get all precious about it, don't read it. Yeah,
this is what I actually did for a job for a while in clubs. And I had so many players come to me and say, can you please delete the Facebook? The club, as in the club's Facebook. Which obviously I can't.
The whole club's Facebook?
The whole thing?
Yeah, they would say, Kicks, can you please delete the Facebook, because they're saying awful things about me online, which obviously I would have to say, I wouldn't say the player's name, I would have to say, darling, I can't do that. Like, I can't delete that. I would be up for, you know, until 4 a.m. in the morning trying to delete often death threats, all these awful things on off so the boys wouldn't see it.
Jesus.
Horrific stuff, honestly, and it was awful, and it affected me so badly because I had to read them about the boys, and then also being a woman in rugby league, I would then get threatened myself.
Well, you've had some fairly significant run-ins on social media over your time. There was a horrendous incident where your phone was hacked in France. That was
believe that.
Unfortunate.
Someone
very
stole
unfortunate. And I mean, you engage with people on social media, and you've got a pretty thick skin. Are the players of today getting a little bit precious?
I suppose it was just different when I was coming through. I got introduced to social media. These young kids are just little digital babies, and they just, as soon as they come through the grades, there's been Facebook, there's been Instagram, there's been all these other social media outlets. So I was a little bit different. It was 2008. I was 28 when Instagram and all this sort of shit come out. I don't have Facebook. I have Instagram. I got Twitter. So they're just sort of little platforms I can build off just for anything I want to do. If I want to look at pictures, if I want to post something that I feel or think, I can use Twitter. But you got to be able to cop it back. Because I say some shit that is offensive to other people. I don't give a fuck about it, really. That's my point of view. I don't care. I don't care what other people think, but I think I'm a different breed than these younger kids, because they actually care what people think. And they're very sensitive, you know, and I'm just not that sort of dude. If you're going to put yourself out there in this social media market, expect to get hammered, because I've copped some brutal stuff, but I'll just give it to them back. And then block them and just get off social media. But you can just actually block these people and they're out of your life forever. If you want to keep arguing with them like a little girl and reading their messages, like you're going to be, if you're a sensitive kid, that will hurt your feelings because that's what they try and do. They're trying to actually like get you to go say something really dramatic or say something bad, then they'll go to the press with it and all this sort of shit. Yeah. Just say what you got to say, block them and get out of there.
I think that's probably indicative of where Queensland are at the moment. They're just a little bit off.
A little bit sensitive.
He wasn't looking for excuses, but it was interesting.
I think the difference was he's a coach trying to defend his players for just playing football. And I think for me, when I was in that same sort of environment, was when the teams were, if they were playing bad footy and
get personal.
Yeah, it just, you can't help it. Like when it's just like, I would just be like, it's just a game. You want to remind the fans at the end of the day.
But it's just not to some fans and some people watch the sport for different reasons.
Yeah,
they'll watch Origin. They'll just look for an excuse to even pick at something.
It's hard.
And it's just like, yeah, you had to go through and sift through all that bullshit. I don't look at the comments. I don't give a shit. I say whatever I want, get it out there, and then brush it. We do this show, I don't edit it, we don't do anything, just get it out there. They're all my points of view, so I don't care. And I'll stand by it and whatever I say. But these kids, and I think Kevy probably didn't really know what to say because he's not a social media person. So he was probably just standing up for his players in a different sort of weird way, where he's not used to standing up for his players getting bagged on social media. So probably got taken out of context sort of thing, and he just didn't really know how to argue that point.
Yeah.
So, you know, most of these guys, they know what's going on. If they're on social media, they know the repercussions. It can get nasty, or it can do. It's all good when you post and stuff, and everyone's loving you when you're winning. But when you're losing, expect to get hammered. I just think people need to understand, like, there's a difference between having a comment on your game and then sort of bullying. You understand these, you know, we're still human beings. We're rugby league players. We go out there, we battle, and then you expect your life to be normal. These other people, the fans, they cross the line and it turns into bullying, you know what I mean? So, you know, they say some nasty things. I've read some messages and I've met some comments that they've written about their wives and girlfriends and partners and kids. They're just some real nasty pricks out there. And it's pathetic from them. I just think these young kids now, it is a certain line that you can cross. And as a woman, you probably understand that. Like you've been on social media for a while, and people can just be arseholes.
Yeah, I've had since the beginning of my career, unfortunately, just by the simple fact that I was born in a girl's body, not being feminist or anything, but just people have just some fans have just really been
crossed the line.
Cross the horrific line. I don't want to say into some of the things that people have tweeted at me, but my God, just horrific. And it's mainly
the women in sport that get really hammered.
It is, and you just have to keep. And I've always just blocked and moved on, never engaged, and I've just
that's the best. That's the best thing.
I've just kept going and just blocked it out. But you've got to remember, everybody out there, that there is a human being on the other side of the camera, on the other side of the Twitter handle. We're human. We're all human.
Well, I feel sorry for the young women that's trying to come up in our sport. They're trying their best as commentators on the sidelines. They're doing their best, and the NRL are giving women a shot in the game, which is great to see.
Here we are.
But finally, here we are, 2018, equality, yes.
Yay.
But they're absolutely getting destroyed, some of these poor girls online. And I've seen some of the comments. There's a difference between having constructive criticism and then crossing that line and bullying the shit out of them, telling them how bad they are, how they're personally looking and all that sort of stuff. And that's what these women are copping. And I think personally it's a load of shit, and these guys are cowards and they need their head punched in, personally. But they just sit and they hide behind. That's what they are. They're keyboard warriors. That's what I always call them. I don't care. I don't let it affect me, but I can see how it can affect women in sport. Men, we're a bit different. We can deal with it, but I just think they need to calm down with the women.
The keyboard warriors have had a bit to say also about the New South Wales side that got picked. And
indeed,
Matt Pryor has been left out of the 17 and Tarek Sims has been brought in. Yeah. I personally think that this is probably just Fittler giving Tarek Sims a jersey, which he's been in the squad. He's been 18th man. I think he probably deserves a spot. And Matt Pryor did a terrific job, and now he's got a Blues.
I wonder if they had a deal in game 2. It's just like, all right, if we win, you can play game 3, Tarek. Yeah, I don't know, because I thought Tarek deserved. I'm a massive fan of Tarek. From fucking day one, he's been the best forward all year, and he deserved to be on the bench or to be on that left side back row. He was butting heads with Boydie Cordner.
Yeah, but Boyd's showed everyone how classy he is.
He's led the Blues to a victories, but
Yeah.
I just don't understand how Pryor can go from starting prop to not even in the straight out of the team, straight in Tarek, and I'm like, oh well, look, you're not even 18th man. Ryan James comes in if there's anything else. Like you come in, you nailed it, Pryor. You've won a series, and now you just go up with the boys and party.
Yeah, well, I mean,
Freddie's loose. He's just doing. I don't know. He's just doing
Freddie in his
whatever.
head. I reckon Freddie would have been going, you know what? If we win this game, Matt Pryor looks like a genius. I'm just going to swap him with Tarek.
Yeah.
So because Tarek deserves to go, he's giving him his
spot.
past dues. You know what I mean? He's just like, you should have been in the spot from the get go, and now he's getting an opportunity. Give him the third game. He deserves it. Well done, Tarek.